Hello, folks. If you're from South Africa, you should be asking for a rebate or refund from your politicians who failed you miserably. Your economy is about to suffer immensely as a consequence of the negligence and failure of South African political leaders to make a good faith effort to negotiate with President Trump, who in early April announced reciprocal tariffs on much of the world. South Africa with 30% tariff slapped on the country. That's painful to say the least, particularly for automotive industry, which ships over 25,000 vehicles to the United States every year, plus your agriculture sector. This could be devastating. The United States is South Africa's most important trading partner. Its second largest partner, but one that buys finished goods from South Africa, not just raw materials like the Chinese do. $20.5 billion in annual two-way trade at risk. In the meantime, South Africa still doesn't have an ambassador after its racist ambassador, Ibrahim Rasool, was sent home for his comments about President Trump and about Americans, calling us racist. And then they appointed a special advisor, a special envoy, in Nkabisi Jonas, who still sits in Cape Town. He's not in the United States. How can you negotiate anything? Parks Tao, the trade minister, not here. No trade representative in the United States. No delegation here. No genuine effort whatsoever to ever engage the United States. Only two attempts at wearing it publicly. The first was when President Ramaphosa went to the United States in late May, over 6 weeks after the reciprocal tariffs were put in place. And they offered some sort of deal. But the deal was contingent on what the Americans said behind closed doors, some of which apparently is coming out now, courtesy of the Freedom Front Plus's trip to the United States recently. But no effort was made. The next effort waited weeks later until just about a week before the tariffs were set to be raised in a matter of hours on the 9th of July. And that was at the U.S.-Africa Business Summit in Angola, in Luanda, Angola, where not anyone of any significance went there. A deputy trade minister was sent to this. That's how little importance they attached to the most important trading partner. That's how little importance they attached to this. They sent their deputy minister. Meanwhile, the deputy minister of foreign affairs is off signing a guest book, offering condolences to terror state sponsor Iran. Do you see where the ANC's priorities are? Their second largest trading partner, their most important trading partner, they're negligent. They made two attempts to engage. Neither were serious. Neither were genuine. Meanwhile, they're gaslighting people. On the 5th of July, the Daily Maverick ran this story, carrying the water for the corrupt ANC, saying, still room for engagement, says Parks Tao, as Trump's tariff deadline looms. This is on Saturday, the 5th of July. Minister for Trade, Industry and Competition, Parks Tao, says the U.S. has signaled that there is still room for engagement on South Africa's request for an extension of 90-day pause on U.S. tariffs. Really? Really? Now, that was the 5th of July. Tonight, this story breaking right now, President Trump on his Truth Social said any country aligning themselves with the anti-American policies of BRICS will be charged an additional 10% tariff. There will be no exceptions to this policy. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Trump on Truth Social, less than 20 minutes ago. The jig is up, folks. Not only will South Africa get its letter for 30%, now it looks like it's going to be hit with an additional 10%. That's a 40% tariff. This will destroy two-way trade with the United States. South Africa's exports cannot afford to go from 0% under the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act to a 40% tariff. The Chinese, the Iranians, the Russians aren't going to pick up the slack anytime soon. So that means 141,000 jobs in the automotive industry are automatically at risk, as well as all the parts suppliers, the shippers, all the businesses that tie into that. And then we talk about agriculture. Wow, the arrogance, the ignorance, the stupidity, the cheek. And now South Africans will pay the price. The letter is coming. Letters start getting delivered apparently somewhere on Friday. Others are delivered on Monday, the 7th, then the 8th and 9th. And South Africa now, as a BRICS member, looks like it's a 40% tariff, not 30%. Congratulations, ANC, for signing up to an acronym that has no treaty, that offers you no benefit, just a place for you to spew nonsense. What have you accomplished with BRICS? Very little to nothing. Good luck, South Africa. You're in our thoughts and prayers.